Hello there and welcome to this video. In the past couple weeks of October, I have been working really hard to try and prep myself to be able to spend some time working on some projects that I've been really excited about. And this video is going to be working on one of the projects that I'm stoked to do. We're going to be working on the eyeball sweater. I saw this sweater, I probably saw it last year because it's been around for a while. Started coming back onto my Instagram August actually, and so I've been planning since then to make the sweater and slowly gathering my palette and coming up with ideas. And so we spent yesterday working in the studio doing a little tidying, trying to kind of make sure that I cleaned up my space so that I could free up some brain space to be able to work on this new, to me, project. And I'm super excited to get it done. I'm hoping I'll be able to get it done this week. I know I've seen a bunch of people be able to finish theirs in a couple days. It's not really an intricate pattern because you are using a lot of larger stitches, which allow you to build the sweater quite quickly, which is really nice. So I'm really excited to work on this. I've got my color palette together, so I'm going to show it to you in just a second. But hopefully you are here and ready to hang out and watch me put together this cool, ghouly, spooky sweater. All right, let's look at the color palette. Okay, so here is our color palette. I'm going for, of course, the black, but I'm going for really dark, deep reds. And I'm hoping that these dark reds and like this vampy reds is gonna look really nice with the Mars Lander. Because there has a lot of like reds and oranges and grays in it. I just think it'll look really cool, kind of all contrasted together. For the eyeball itself, the color on the eye, I decided that I wanted to try and use this because I think this color, hopefully if it kind of is as variegated as I am hoping it is, it will replicate a hazel eye pretty well. And I have hazel eyes, so I thought it'd be cool to kind of like match the eye on my sweater to my eye color. And this is the Woodland Camo color by Big Twist. Might not exist anymore, but that's what that is. So let's go ahead, let's get started. Oh, actually one thing I wanted to tell you that I forgot to tell you in the last video when I was talking to you about my clutch is that this one in particular fits an 11-inch tablet, which is huge because this, of course, is where all my project stuff comes from. My patterns, and when I'm watching videos, I do it right from here. So really nice that this can just fit in my clutch and I can bring all of my crochet accessories together in this, and then, you know, the bowl for all the yarn. I'm really happy with this setup, if you couldn't tell. Anyway, let's get going. We're in a closet. No, I will not be taking questions. So we're taking a break from our project to do a little cleanup. I bought a big plastic tub and we are going to put some finished crochet projects in here that I will intend to sell both on Etsy as well as possibly I'm going to be looking into some consignment if I can, fingers crossed. And then who knows, maybe a market one of these days. I keep talking about it. Maybe we'll actually do it. But we're gonna go ahead and start with trying to get some organization for where all of the sellable pieces are living. Because in a mound in the back of my closet is really not, it's not the place, you know? So, see if we can clean up a little bit. Take a look at some of the old pieces that we've done. Okay, I think that's most of it. I need to weave in the ends for this one. One of these days I'll actually do that. Anything, oh, actually, not it. Super old one. Well, okay, well, the bin is already full. Oh no. Okay, but okay, Michaels, I see you. I see you. We'll debrief more, but that was a pleasant surprise. Hello. I promised a recap of the Michaels trip, and I figured while I work on weaving in ends on the sweater, I'm not quite done. I'm working the sleeves right now, but I'm trying to weave in ends as I go, because since we are changing yarn every row, there are a shit ton of ends that need to get woven in, and I really don't want to save it for the end because I'm not. There's like a fruit fly. I'm not gonna want to do it. So I'm trying to do it in the middle. So I've taken a break from working on the arm length to weave in some ends. But the Michaels that I went to was in Lake Stevens in Washington State, which is, to be fair, a little bit more of a wealthy area, which I think is why that Michaels already has so much product and like a whole section pre-built. I actually have never been to that Michaels before. That was the first time. Usually I go to the Michaels in Bellevue, which is a little bit more rundown looking, although Bellevue is a pretty big city. That's really, and I think I've been to one other Michaels in, was it the Kirkland area? I can't actually remember where that other Michaels that we went to together on the videos. I don't exactly remember where that was. So first time I went to that Michaels, really nice. The knit and sew shop in that particular Michaels takes up several aisles, as you saw. I think it was like 4 entire aisles, which is pretty impressive. The fabric selection looked pretty decent. I mean, of course, it's no Joann's. Like, Joann was a fabric store first and foremost, so nowhere near that level, but it was, I would say, pretty decent, significantly better than Michaels previously had. So a really nice, pleasant surprise. Also, the yarn and kind of like stitch craft accessory wall looked pretty nice in that one in particular. It had like a ton of different knitting needles and crochet hooks. It had several different brands there, which was really nice, and a bunch of other accessories. I didn't like look too much because I really wasn't looking for anything. I just kind of wanted to see what it could look like. But that was exciting to see. And then of course I was pleasantly surprised, of course, to see Big Twist was already there. It wasn't any of the ones that I would want, although the purple, I do have a couple of those and would use them. So seeing the purple was nice, but of course what we're gonna be looking for is like the cool, predominantly Halloween, right? Halloween colors are the best. So it'd be interesting to see if they actually do any special colorways next year. I mean, this year it seems like they're still trying to work out patent stuff with Big Twist. It's still kind of unclear what's going on with that, because we do know that Hirschner's purchased the patent, and then Michaels purchased the rest of Joann. So I'm wondering how that's gonna like really shake out. I know that Big Twist, it was a big deal for them to get it, which is why they put marketing all over the place that they're gonna have Big Twist, but Hirschner's technically owns that unless they're gonna sell the pattern to Michaels, so, or patent to Michaels. So I would be very interested to see, and I'm sure we'll see what happens in the future. But it's gonna be nice to at least have that as an option to go to. Like I said, we have Benjamin Franklin here, which is nice to have, but it's just nowhere near the same level of options. So that was nice. Enjoyed that. Anyway, still working on the sweater. I'm desperately trying to finish it. The like chest and back, the front and back worked up pretty quick, but I don't know, for some reason I feel like the sleeves are taking forever. But I don't think we have much to go. I'm not gonna finish one sleeve and start the other. I'm kind of like working them at the same time. I'm doing that because I don't want to accidentally run out of a yarn and then not have it for the other side. You know what I mean? Specifically the Vampy Reds, I only had one of these, so I want to make sure it's as close to even on both sides as possible. And then we still are doing good with the Mars Landing. Mars Landing. Although I think I might want to do the cuffs in this. So I'm trying to figure out if I do want to just like keep using this on the arms, and then if I run out, grab my second one and use it for the cuffs. Which I guess I could do. I don't know, still thinking, but anyway, we still have a bit of this left. I'm almost done the black, although I don't think this was a full skein. I think this one was partially used. We're running pretty low on the dark red. We're almost done with this red. And then I did add gray. I don't know if I talked to you about that, but as we were working the panels, these panels, I decided to add gray because I just felt like it needed something else, like a bigger contrast. And I think the gray did well. I think it like added a really nice contrast. And then when we're done and I give you like the rest of the recap, we need to talk about this because I guess we can talk about it now. The pattern writer relied on using a, for lack of a better term, obnoxiously large hook size to deal with this kind of like curling that's happening here. So you see how like this is kind of sticking out. And it's doing that because they didn't add stitches in the round. So when you're working the round off the eyeball, you need to add stitches to each round so that it doesn't start to like bowl. It's gonna bowl up, like that's how you make a basket, right? So you start with, you know, your center line and you kind of are working your way around to make it wider, and then you stop increasing and just keep your stitch count the same, and that's how you kind of create the sides of your basket, right? So that's kind of what happened on this first panel, which is why it's like protruding so much, because I didn't catch it. I was just following the video and I didn't catch it soon enough that we weren't increasing, and I didn't want to rework it, so I left it. So it kind of looks a little weird, and I might need to go back and like, I don't know, do something to try to fix this, or maybe just like hope that it stretches out a bit and it fixes it. But in the pattern video, they moved from like a 5 or 6 millimeter hook to an 11 millimeter hook to make, I guess, ridiculously big stitches. And I didn't do that. And I caught too late that I needed to start increasing. So I started both of these eyes at the same time and started to do like the pattern around, and then realized what was happening. And so this one, I caught it earlier. And so it's not sticking out as much because I started increasing. So it wouldn't do that. And I was not so lucky on this panel. So it looks kind of weird, but you know, it's fine. And then I kind of left the pattern after the eye part and just kind of started doing whatever I wanted to do. I did that intentionally because I wanted to make this a sweater that I could actually wear like in the fall, winter, and I live in the Pacific Northwest, which is a chillier climate. And so I didn't necessarily want this to be like a summertime only garment. I wanted to be able to wear this at other times. So I'm using a 6 millimeter hook, and I'm doing double crochets in every row in order to keep the stitches, and I'm using like a number 4 yarn to keep the stitches a little bit closer. It's still a double crochet, so it's still like an airy stitch, so it's not going to be like a knit sweater, right? But it's going to give you a lot more warmth, which means that I'm going to be able to wear this like now, for instance, when it's already cold and rainy. This would work great. The only row that I'm doing triple crochets is the rows that I'm using the roving yarn, because it's roving, so it's actually quite thin. And so, I don't know if you can see, but for these rows, I'm doing a triple crochet. And basically what I'm doing for this triple crochet is I'm adding 2 loops of yarn, pulling up a loop, pulling through 2, pulling up another loop, pulling through 2, pulling through 2, and then pulling through 3. So making the stitch a little bit wider and nice and tall. And that is what I've been doing for all of those rows. You can see it really nice on the arms, actually. Like this is the Marslander row, and it looks fuller. So that way, because it's a roving, and even though it's a 4, it's not. This gives it a little bit more puffiness, so it actually like looks similar to my double crochet rows that are just like this acrylic. So that's what I've been doing there. I also did add a little, you can't see it that well. We'll do when it's not 10-11 o'clock at night. I also like added a little extension here to give me just a slight little swoop neck, as my personal preference. We've talked about this, so we added that. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to weaving in random ends that I find. And hopefully finishing these sleeves. And then the next clip that you'll see should be the final reveal of my completed sweater. Anyway. Okay, you ready? I'm super happy with this. I'm so happy with this. I'm glad I took my time and did the little adjustments that I thought were gonna work well for making it something that I would actually wear. This is a little wider than I was intending, but also totally fine. I like that I can wear it off the shoulder and still feel like it's not gonna fall down. The little swoop neck did something that I like. I didn't make this a design intentionally. I was just randomly switching colors. I wasn't actually switching in a pattern. And then here I did 2 rows of the Mars Lander because I did a double crochet version and then a triple crochet version, and they wound up together, and then I like put gray on either side, and while I was doing it I didn't notice it, but after I put it together I was like, oh, look at this like cool, I kind of made a weird border that I was not intending to make, but I'm very happy about it. The hand parts I love. This is from the what was it called? Will I remember? This is from, I'll put the pattern because I can't remember the name of it, but this is from that pattern, the hooded cowl thingy that I made like a video or 2 ago. This was on their pattern, which is, I mean, it's just a kind of a common cuff pattern. It's just like you chain and then wow, I can't think. You do single crochets in the back loop only, and you repeat that over and over and over again to give it like this nice texture. In their pattern, they just have you just do a longer one. So you chain 30 and then you do a little thumb cutout. So nothing like super proprietary, but I haven't done it before their pattern. So I really liked it and I wanted to try it on this sweater, and I think it came out fantastic. So I'm definitely going to be wearing this. And it's very warm. I am slightly sweaty because it's not cold in my house. It's kind of warm in my house, and I just was walking on a treadmill. So anyway, but it came out great. The only issue I've already talked about is this, my weird protruding eye. The back one I kind of fixed. The back one looks fine. But this one is a little weird. So as it stretches, we'll see how it looks. It might stretch out to the point where this looks less noticeably like bulging eye. If not, I might try to like tack it slightly, and maybe like add a little top crochet to like maybe the sides, like top, bottom, and the sides, to kind of make it look a little more like a patch, which I think will be fine. But all in all, super happy with how this turned out. Highly recommend making your own crochet sweater. If you're not into kind of creepy-ish things and you don't want an eye, you can do anything. It doesn't have to be an eye. You could start with a granny square, of like a moon or a star or a skull or I don't know, whatever you like. Whatever you like. Start with that, turn it into a square, and then make a sweater out of it. Do it. And then if you do it, tell me about it in the comments. I would love to know. I'm also considering putting together a community Discord. So if you've watched to this point in the video and you take some inspiration from videos that I make and you crochet things and you've ever wanted to share them with me in an easier way, would you be interested in a Discord? Tell me if you're interested in that. I've been noodling on the idea, so I might. I think the things that I really want to nail down are going to be like community protection things, so like any type of kind of community help bots that would help us run a safe community in a space like that is kind of like my highest concern. So let me know what your thoughts are. Nothing definitive, just I'm thinking about it. So let me know what you think. Other than that, we're all done. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I inspired you to make something. Doesn't have to be this, doesn't even have to be crochet, anything. Make stuff, whatever you do, make stuff. I'm gonna have a couple more fall kind of Halloween-y themed videos, so I think we're just gonna carry the Halloween through November at this point. So don't think you're getting away from Halloween anytime soon. I definitely have a couple more Halloween-y things that I will be talking about in my next couple videos. So I hope you're excited for that. I hope you're enjoying the fall season. I hope you are being kind to yourself. Is there anything else I need to say? I don't think so. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye now.